MultimediaJay Radio Style.
And now, MultimediaJay Radio Style presents Jay's response to the launch of the new screensavers. Here's Jay!
Boo to the ya here on this lovely, lovely Saturday night, May 2nd, 2015. It is nearly 80 degrees in here. I really should get some air in this place after I finish recording this. And I'm playing around with the fan controller to see if I can still record audio without too much computer noise in the background here on this lovely Saturday night. Well, before I really start roasting, let's actually get going here on my reaction and response to the relaunch of the screensavers as the new screensavers on Twit. Now, first and foremost, this is the middle of nowhere. The Geek Suite is out in the middle of the woods. We have rednecks and hillbillies, and it's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday night outside. It was a gorgeous weather all day today. Yard sales all over the place. It's just, you know, the time to really take winter and just say, hey, winter is over. Booyah! I already did a Booyah winter video where I destroyed with a vengeance what was left of the snow piles that were all over the place in my driveway. And now here I am. Okay, so it's beautiful weather outside. It was a great day today. We're getting into a rowdy evening here, out here in the middle of nowhere. You might hear some rumbling from loud trucks, motorcycles, ride-on lawnmowers, whatever people feel like sawing off mufflers from. Just give us a yeehaw! Or something like that, if you hear that. But I wasn't sawing the muffler off a car, or a truck, or a ride-on lawnmower, or a motorcycle, or whatever. I was watching the relaunch of the screensavers, and 3 words will suffice in describing the my reaction to the relaunch. He did it. Congratulations to Leo Laporte and the Twit team. I've had mixed opinions about the relaunch of the screensavers. Would it get too much like a nostalgia trip? Would it be too much, milking past success or something like that? Would it be like going to see like a classic rock band at a casino show where they're all, oops, things falling over on the desk here? Would it be like something where come on, keep it together, Jay. You only have to do this for like 15 minutes. Anyways. Yeah, I actually had to force myself to shut off the live Twit feed because they were just having a blast with kind of like an after party type thing after the show finished recording. For those of you that didn't see the live recording, it will be going up for download, I believe, later tonight, but I'll definitely probably be rewatching it, see how different the downloaded version is, because the experience of watching this on Twit. Well, first, let's finish the thoughts we had from earlier. So, I had a lot of doubts about this show, whether or not Leo could pull this off, whether or not there would be too much Twit influence. Fortunately, there was some Twit references here and there. However, it didn't dominate the show. So it's kind of like a mix of the old and the new. Likewise with the nostalgia. Yeah, it was like, oh, cool, Patrick's back. Patrick Norton was the guest host tonight, and Kate Patello joined via Skype. And so, oh yes, cool. It's, yeah, cool. A little bit of nostalgia there, but they didn't let it dominate the show. They talked about newer stuff. They talked about things like Windows 10, and they talked about that German audio, I think that audio company with a German name at the very least. That sounds like a swear word. And I was live tweeting my response to the show, and I do apologize to anybody who follows me on Twitter that's used to me just using it for posting video uploads, and suddenly, oh my goodness, look at all the spam. It was kind of a last minute thing, and I almost couldn't actually live tweet in response to the relaunch of the launch of the new screensavers. I almost couldn't do it because my netbook has this big problem right now where some Windows module installer keeps sucking half the CPU for the first 10 minutes every time I start the thing up. I mean, I have an SSD in that thing, and whatever this Windows process is that's killing the computer every time I start it up is completely defeating the purpose of me having an SSD in there. And it's not something that happened when I first got that netbook back in 2012, so if the new build that's I recently downloaded to put on a CD, if the new ISO build of Win 10 Technical Preview works in the netbook, I think it's time to install it on the netbook. I ran into some compatibility errors that stopped the installation last time, but let's see if we can install the darn thing. So anyways, yes, I was live tweeting my response to the new screensavers, and it got very, very spammy, probably to folks who are like probably used to me only putting like one tweet or something like that per day, or when I upload a video. And I haven't been tweeting all of them. Some of the vlogs, if they're too like daily minutia or too much of a generic update without a lot of topical stuff, I don't really, sometimes I don't tweet the vlogs. If the vlogs are topical enough, I'll tweet them. But for the most part, Twitter is a good way to follow things like the Quicko Flicks, the WWMJ, the radio style segments, of course, and my little issue this afternoon. The latest Quicko Flick is a little issue I had this afternoon trying to find whether or not a local Benny's hardware store was still open. I kept asking Google, hey, where's the nearest Benny's store? And Google was like, this is the directions to Denny's. Benny's, Denny's, BD, tomato, Google, you have some work to do there. Anyways, so let's go back to the Twitter notes. Oh, some other big news today also. There's a Kickstarter for basically a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. It's called, I believe, Ukulele or something like that. Well, of course, it's obviously a sound-alike spoof of the ukulele, the guitar type instrument and whatnot. But there's a Kickstarter project. It's already funded. They're just seeing how high it's going to go in terms of funding. But it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie by the folks who actually made the original Banjo-Kazooie games. And the demo looked pretty interesting, so I might check it out when it comes to Steam. But darn it, we're supposed to be talking about the new screensavers, not like doing our own news show or something along those. Anyways. Yeah, so the backlog, Benny's, okay, there you go. I'm kind of like scrolling through my Twitter right now, live tweeting my reaction to the new screensavers tonight if this netbook will stop trying to install 50 bazillion Windows updates. First and foremost, it was not a TV show. It's styled like a TV show, but they took liberties because they were still a podcast, so I am looking for, I should fire up my Miro and see if the TNSS, no, it's not going to show up while I'm trying to record this. Well, just so I don't jinx myself. We'll start up Miro here and, hello, hey, such a slamming program. I may just dump this program and go back to iTunes, but I don't really use it for too much anymore. I used to do all my podcasts on here. For some reason why I didn't bother with iTunes, but I'm having my doubts with how much this program, even though it's open source, it slams the crap out of my computer when it first starts up. There we go. The new Screensavers Video HD, and it takes like a couple of minutes to update all the feeds. So the show began with an outtake. The guy who was supposed to do the intro from the audience forgot what a microphone was, so basically he did one of these. Hey, that microphone's not magical, Yeah, it wasn't like James Randi pretending that an electric shaver is a microphone or something like that. Oh, yes, it started with an outtake, and there were some screw-ups during the show that just show that, yeah, these folks are a little green. It was not television, but I imagine the one that gets uploaded into the RSS feed, I don't know yet because I haven't seen it, but I imagine the one that gets uploaded into the RSS feed is probably going to have a few things tweaked, to say the very least. So it's, but anyways, to see Leo and Patrick together for the first time, on a screensaver show for the first time since college, that was awesome. I mean, these two still have, I don't want to say the old man still has it for either of them, but these folks still have a ton of chemistry on camera, and they can just like go back and forth off each other like that. I mean, I've seen their shows separately. I've listened to Leo. Leo has more of a radio background, so I've listened to more like his tech guy show and stuff like that, and Security Now, and I've heard a few Twit shows once in a while, but they get too rambly from time to time. This show, however, was not. There was a little bit of ramble, but for the most part, they actually stayed, reach for my drink later. They basically stuck to their schedule, and they were supposed to be an hour show. They recorded in like an hour 15. They might cut a few things down or something like that. But yeah, so at first 6 o'clock came around. I was like, yeah, these guys are starting whenever, Then I realized internet lag would probably put me about 5 minutes behind, but they got going on the take too. So it's, it was nearly 10 years ago that Tech Anvil, with his old channel on YouTube, first introduced me to the whole thing with IPTV and introduced me to shows like Dig Nation and DLTV and Twit and Hack 5 as well. And not a lot of those Twit and Hack 5 are like the last shows standing with that stuff. And Patrick Norton has been through a couple of shows since then. He now has Tech Thing, which I highly recommend. Check him out on Patreon, and definitely, go ahead and donate to him. I mean, they're basically, here's the thing. Some of you, might be a little inside baseball for like my life outside of YouTube, but the Lutheran churches that I'm involved with, there was a podcast, there was a radio show called Issues Etc., which got canceled officially. But what happened was people liked the show so much that they practically crowdfunded an entire like online radio station centered around that show. And so nowadays, Issues Etc. is available to listen to. It's like a Christian theology thing for, in current events for mostly a Lutheran audience. But the point is, they had the folks in the suits say no more. They said, oh yeah, watch this. And thanks to crowdfunding and the power of popular support, they now have a show that, in their own words, only our listeners can cancel us. Tech Thing, I think, is in the same vein, so to speak. The official Techzilla show got the plug pulled by the folks in the suits, but now Tech Thing is on Patreon, and I definitely hope that Patrick Norton and Shannon Morse can have an absolutely incredible show where they can say, now only our viewers can cancel us. Likewise with the new screensavers, although the new screensavers is a bit of a boost because Twit started out as, just some netcasts you love from people you trust, like audio and stuff. I figured Leo would go back to his more radio background, and he did. But then eventually, Twit started making video streams, and this is where I've been playing a lot of catch-up, because sometimes it is a different experience watching some of these shows on just like, it's almost like having a TV going or something when you're doing chores around the house, or that second screen stuff that I mentioned earlier. But the whole thing with Twit going to video is that it was a step, but I really think that all of Twit and all the shows that have been on, all the talent that's been on it, all the stuff that's gone on at that place in Petaluma and California over the last decade was all about what happened tonight. The return of the screensavers and Leo Laporte finally, bringing back a show that has so much brand power that even nowadays the screensavers still mean something. I mean, what the show was named after, screensavers themselves, not really what the show is named after, screensavers, I'm trying to check I shouldn't be reading my Twitter activity, but somebody favorited one of my tweets that I did during the show. But anyways, the screensavers themselves are kind of like a has-been. Nowadays, your monitor just shuts off or Windows locks after 15 minutes. You don't really need them anymore except for like cosmetic stuff. And in many ways, screensavers actually increase, not the damage, but they actually increase the power consumption of your computer. So it's not really what it used to be in terms of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, screensavers themselves are kind of a dog with fleas, but the screensavers still mean something to a lot of people out there. So let's continue looking through these tweets here. Guy with the mic flubbed the intro. Yes, IPTV, nearly 10 years ago when I first watched that Tech Anvil show from back in the day. Oh, I totally, I was like, yeah, this is an awesome idea. And there was a time when I watched more IPTV than TV. Well, then again, I've never really had pay TV out here except that one stint with the cable company. And even when I had hundreds of channels free, I didn't watch very much. My DVR filled up and I never could catch up with my shows. But yeah, this is IPTV. And I hope that the new screensavers can become the new flagship show on Twit. I would even dare to say that maybe the Twit podcast should take a back seat and TNSS should be in the front. Anyways, as far as news and whatnot, yeah, they talked about Tesla with the home batteries and stuff. I have mixed opinions on that. I can imagine power companies buying some of these Tesla batteries to pair up with solar equipment and have like sites for this stuff, but decentralized in-home batteries, not so much. It'd probably be too expensive for home users. They should try selling this to power companies that want to clean up their power portfolio, so maybe not have as much fossil fuels or something like that. Leo Laporte, oh man, the guy needs a different color earpiece. That just bugged the heck out of me that he had this wire going into his ears like some kind of FBI guy or something. Bow to the Twitborg. You will be assimilated. But yeah, It was the style, completely nailed the style of the original Screensaver show from the Summer of the Geek 2002 when I was working on campus in college, and the nerds that I was working with would brag about getting out of work early enough to go home and watch the Screensavers. Well, now it's a Saturday thing. I work a Monday to Friday job. I don't have to worry about that, but oh yeah, I get to go home and watch the Screensavers. I'm macho now. Yeah, so... man, maybe I should make a new silver bullet now. Get a case, see if I can find a silver version of. Oh, come on, I've run the silver bullets case clear into the ground. Boeing, I'm just laughing at the whole integer problem with the database. That is such a basic database thing. I mean, I'm kind of meticulous with any kind of number that goes into a database. Unless I know for certain it's not going to go out of the number range of integers. I always use doubles because I'm paranoid about. Some of the warehouse folks will find a way to not use integers and crash the whole thing. Yes. I don't know if that was a 2GS monitor that I saw in the background on one of their sets, but when they went to talk about the Raspberry Pi, I have a hard time not calling it the Raspberry Pi because of how I've seen it, the name listed on the internet, but might have been a 2GS monitor. Then there was the company with the name I probably shouldn't pronounce, otherwise people think I'm swearing. All those folks that have their kids listening in. I don't want to poison their eardrums or no. Oh man, I put that sucker on Facebook, but I don't think anyone's gonna laugh at it because I'm probably the only nerd in my family. We're a little short on nerds, so yeah. Anyways, it'll probably be in the show notes for this episode when this whole thing goes live. And excuse me for a second, I'm shooing a gnat that flew in through the window screen. I found some problems with my window screens that have to be addressed today. Sent something to the landlord, said if you don't fix it, I'm going to fix it myself. Maybe do a repair and deduct or something like that. But that's totally offline, totally different issue. But yeah, it's springtime. We're getting bugs again. There was one segment where everything stopped, and I was like, uh-oh, lag, lol, the internet, although it was probably an in-studio thing. Leo did kind of get have a bit of a senior moment, though, when he started talking about 14.4 sample rates. No, Leo, that's old modem speeds. Those are baud rates, not sampling rates. Oh, man, but yeah, he was joking about some of the old stuff, too, like the Hawaiian shirt with the CRT monitors that he was wearing, stuff like that. Oh, no. I wonder if anyone's going to call me a Leo Laporte ripoff if I wear Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses too much. No. The one thing that was missing, though, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people saying stuff like this, it was Leo Laporte and Patrick Norton, but Patrick didn't have a kilt. Next time he is on the show, he needs to bring back the kilt. That was an issue with the TV producers in the Tech TV days, and they actually had that episode where they were all wearing kilts to kind of make fun of the studio to kind of make fun of the head honchos one last time. But they should as the ultimate booyah in terms of gay bringing back the screensavers. The next time Patrick Norton's on the show, he needs to bring back the tradition of kilts. So, I'm not really a big kilt person, but I do know that was a big thing during the Tech TV days. But yeah, it was definitely an experience. It really had the feel of like attending a taping of a show, because you got to see like what they were doing before, what they were doing after. I actually forced myself to shut off the Twit feed. They were still, chatting it up in the studio, and I understand nowadays, ever since Twit started doing video stuff, that's kind of a thing for Leo and the folks nowadays, that you should always catch the pre-show, after-show. Sometimes the folks hanging out shooting the breeze is funnier than the shows themselves, which probably means they should crank up the content in the shows themselves. But it was awesome, to say the very least. I'll definitely check out the produced version of it when it shows up on the RSS. Let's just do another update on the Miro here. Nope. I think that it's going to be somebody's probably editing all over the place because they're trying to make it look like a TV show, and there were some things that'll probably be edited out. But that'll add some value to actually watching these live. So, it's going to be two different experiences. But the post-recorded thing that's edited a little, to get out some of the awkward moments, maybe, or the guy screwing up the intro because he did one of these. So, it was definitely an experience, and an experience worth having. I'm definitely glad I shut down the email and turned off the phone and silenced the answering machine. And, oh no, people are going to call me old-fashioned because I still have an answering machine. But that is another discussion entirely, people. But, yeah, I had mixed opinions about this show coming back. But fortunately, it looks like Leo did the right thing here. And although I most certainly still will watch Tech Thing, other tech shows, and the YouTubers like Jay's 2 Cents and Tech Syndicate and a lot of other people that do tech reviews and over-the-shoulder videos like B Bishop PCM and V Westlife on here, as also Max Arcade too. He had that interesting one where he blasted his speakers until he blew the circuit breaker and stuff like that. Or I think it was at the start of the year or something like that. But I will definitely continue watching the shows that are on YouTube and the formal shows, shows done by individuals like myself. I'll also continue doing the stuff that I'm doing as well. But it is great after all these years to finally have the screensavers be an actual thing again. The best of luck to Leo and the Twit folks as they pursue this new endeavor, the new screensavers on twit.tv. You can subscribe to it over at twit.tv/TNSS. That's Tango, this November, Sierra. Cool. I'm actually remembering my phonetic alphabet here. Hold up, gotta go get my keyboard. I should have, I put it on the floor so I could have my little thing going here. Just want to make sure that's the right link before people like, dude, you sent me to a 404/TNSS. Boom, 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 going into the microphone. I need a better shock system for this thing. Yes, twit.tv/TNSS. Tango, November, Sierra. The new screensavers. Right now it has the teaser, but I imagine by the time this gets uploaded or a little bit afterwards, there'll be some kind of video. And yeah, please folks, download the HD video if you have the bandwidth. Do not listen to the new screensavers over audio. It'd be like, deliberately waiting for your beer to go flat before drinking it. Highly not recommended, and if you have a taste in flat beer or TNSS over audio, something is very wrong with you. So, I look forward to the first produced upload, and yeah, let's do a little toast here. I got a big thing of Diet 7-Up. I'm actually going to drink this straight out of the bottle because I'm almost done with it. Yeah, I know, Bachelor, the single life, right, Jay? This bottle's almost finished. There's not much left, so I'm not going to bother with like a glass or anything for this. So, okay, so cheers to the return of the screensavers, to Twit, to Leo Laporte, and all these people that have entertained us with tech stuff and entertaining tech stuff, most importantly, for the last nearly 20 years. For me, it's more like 15-ish. The first time I saw the screensavers was during the ZDTV days when they were talking about Corel Linux, and I believe it was still Leo Laporte and Kate Botello. So yeah, 3 cheers to the screensavers. I know you can't see me with the soda bottle, but heck with it. I'm drinking to that tonight. Yeah. I can chug the rest of this. I can chug the rest of the bottle. But I'll do that after I do the sign-off. Actually, no, come on. This is the return of the freaking screensavers here. It deserves some chugging. Let's finish this bottle of Diet 7-Up that I've got here in the Geek Suite. And 3 cheers to the hillbillies on this street for not revving their motorcycles while I was recording, though I probably just jinxed myself. 1 more big gulp. 2 more big gulps. 3 more big gulps. I'm not really good at prognosticating this stuff. The new screensavers. Cheers! It was more like 5. Heck, I could... no, I'm not going to try and smash the bottle against my head. Just tap it instead. Yeah, gotta take out the recycling later. The new screensavers. The screensavers is back. It's a thing again. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Leo and the folks do with this show. There's plenty of good tech content out there, but at least it's good. It's good to see that the screensavers is finally a thing again. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.